Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I am a veteran of the United States Army. I actually had the distinct privilege of enlisting twice. My first enlistment was in the Army for military police. My second enlistment, I went warrant officer to learn how to fly helicopters. So I've gone through the process twice. My first time I was in way over my head, and I'm going to discuss what goes on from the moment you go to the recruiter to the moment you show up on post. Maybe give you a little heads up as to what to expect and show you how the military sets you up for failure from day one. So you're thinking of enlisting in the military. Congratulations, it is a great thing to do. You can definitely do a lot of things there in the military that you'll never be able to do in the civilian world, or you'll have a really hard time accomplishing that. It's a great way to learn a job, learn a skill, and I'll do another video actually talking about the branches of services and the jobs and implications that'll have, afterwards when you get out as to what kind of jobs you pick. So I'll do another video on that. This one's going to be just based on the actual enlistment process, going from the recruiter through MEPS and how they set you up from failure for day one. And I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to join the military, get ready to learn a lot of acronyms, starting off with MEPS. Military Entrance Processing Station. This is the second step after the recruiter, and everybody goes there. All branches of services will combine into this one building, and this is where you ship out from, but more on that later. All right, now we'll focus on it should be your second step. The first step, you should decide on what branch of service and what job you want. So you're going to get prepared, and luckily for you, there's videos like this, and there's other videos out there on YouTube that can help prepare, and you can see what the jobs are. When I enlisted in 1992, this stuff wasn't out there, so I was like blown away. I really wasn't a military type person. I really wanted to be a deputy sheriff back home, and the only way to get on was to have military experience. So I figure I give up my street racing ways and put on that badge and serve my community, but first I need to serve my country to gain that experience. So that's the biggest reason that I myself joined. So go in, talk to the recruiter. Now, like I said before, I've done this twice. So the second time I went in with a lot more knowledge. And I'm going to tell you, knowledge is power when it comes down to this. And this is going to keep you from getting screwed over. So just remember what I said, knowledge is power. So you're going to talk to the recruiter. Now, it's their job to put people on the floor and fill those jobs. And I'm just going to warn you now, these guys are about as trustworthy as a used car salesman. Yes, they are fellow veterans, they're service members, and they're doing a job, and it's not a very glorious job, so more power to them. I really don't hate the recruiters for what they're doing. They have a job to do. They're probably going to try to push you into a career field that's low. Like, they have numbers. Usually, like say in the Army, infantry numbers are low. So they're always pushing to try to get people into the infantry. So they might try to sell you on that. Now, nothing against infantry. I've seen these guys like JRTC, NTC. Like I said, lots of acronyms. But these are training centers that the military has set up where you can do some pretty intense training. And I've seen these guys humping some massive rucksacks just full of gear, mortar plates, mortar round. I mean, just a lot of ammo, weapons and stuff. I mean, these guys are like in it. I mean, they're sleeping in the field. They're sleeping on the ground. Very tough job. Your body's probably not going to last very long doing it. So, I mean, I got a lot of respect for these guys. Nothing against them. But it's a job a lot of people don't want. So there's usually a pretty good enlistment bonus. It's a knowledge. If there's an enlistment bonus, it's probably a reason. It's not a desirable job. It's probably for a reason. So, and you're not going to get paid any more money. You might get, like, hazardous duty pay if you're doing some things. I mean, you could be a vet tech, and you sit in there and you learn to do, or you can be a keyboardist sitting in the air conditioning all day, and you get the same pay. An E5 is an E5 in the Army, or any of the branches. It's the same pay. So, like I said, not trying to deter people, man, because we need our special forces, we need the infantry, we need everybody. So, they are probably going to try to put you into a field that there's a need for. Like when I went back to him for warrant officer, told him I want to go back in warrant officer, I want to fly, so I'm doing my flight packet. These guys kept trying to push me to go crew chief. Go crew chief, it'll be easier. No, at this point I was already getting close to needing an age waiver. I had to be in flight school by 30. I already had 8 years prior service at this time, and I'm coming up on that, fairly quickly. So, no, I guess there was a need for crew chiefs or something like that, and I heard this several times, and I'm like, no, warrant officer or nothing. I'm doing the packet. This is what we're doing. So, I mean, this was a hard process. Maybe I'll do a video on that too about the selection board and all that good stuff. But so, yeah, even so, the recruiter may or might not have your best interest in there. If you know what job you want, stick to your guns. Like I said, knowledge is power, and this is going to come into play here a little bit. So I went in there, knew what I wanted. I want a police officer because I want to be a deputy sheriff, nothing else. And the recruiter kept kind of pushing me when we're going to do this, and I was like, dude, I really don't know, because like I said, I wasn't really that big on the military. I'm a street racer, but I want to be a deputy sheriff. High-speed pursuit, chasing people down. But I told him I really wasn't sure, and he made the fatal error of telling me that until the day you ship out, because you're going to go to MEPS twice, all right? He said the second time you go, the day that you ship out, you can break your contract at any time. So this put me at ease. So I'm like, all right, so we did the paperwork, we signed the stuff up, we set up a date, meet with them at the recruiter's office early morning. They take me to MEPS. So we're here, all branches of the military here, everybody, doesn't matter. You go through here. This is where they do the flight physical. This is where you're walking around in your underwear and your socks for a while, and they're checking your body out. They check your spine, they make sure you can kneel, squat, walk. They check if you got flat feet or not. They check your eyes, hearing, everything. After that, you get to put your clothes back on, and then you go sit down with the guidance counselor. I think that's what they're called. Could be wrong, but so I sit down, tell the guy, I want military police. Gee, there's no military police openings. What else can we do for you? We got an opening here in infantry. We can send you on this. Hey, where you going? Where you going? You don't have what I want. I'll check back with the recruiter. When something opens up, I'll come back. No, wait. Let's double check this. Oh, when do you want to go? We got one leaving in 2 weeks. Nah, that's too fast. That's too soon. How about 4 weeks? And I'm like, where am I going? Fort McClellan, Alabama. Ooh. Boy, this is going to be kind of cold. So, I pick March. I didn't want to go through Christmas, because anything I would have picked, because this is going to be an 4-month course. 8 weeks of basic training, 8 weeks military police school. So it's 4 months. If I would have left in October when I enlisted, I would have went through Christmas, and I really didn't want that break. I mean, it's kind of cool. If you go through Christmas, you get to go home, get to have a break, but you can also get yourself into some trouble, not running and doing all this stuff too. So I just wanted to knock it out. I really didn't want to go in January, February. Figured it'd be cold, and I figured March would probably be good. It should just start warming up. I don't know why it mattered. You're in the military. You're going to be cold. You're going to get hot. But I was just delaying the inevitable. But here's another acronym, DEP, Delayed Entry Program. So in the end, I end up going DEP for 6 months. So what does this mean? Well, everything is based on the day that you sign that contract. So the first day I went to MEPS and signed that contract, my time in the military actually started. My 8-year commitment, I had 4 years active duty, 4 years inactive, all went from that date. My date of rank for when I was up for my promotion for next rank went on that date that I enlisted. So I basically got like 6 months in the military free. Didn't do anything. I was just delayed entry. So I'm not recommending that you do like this long thing, try to get some. I had no idea. Nobody told me this. This was just a happy accident. I found out because my 8-year commitment ended the day that I signed that contract. So October 92 to October 2000 was my 8 years. I got 6 months. Now, granted, during that time you're delayed entry. You're supposed to be meeting with the recruiters on the weekends. You're supposed to be doing like events. You're supposed to go learn how to march, learn the rank structure, all this crazy stuff. Nah, I never did. Like I said, I was a street racer. I was spending my Friday, Saturday nights racing the '69 Camaro that I had. Still trying to get in trouble, even though I was trying to enlist and become a deputy sheriff. I'm still doing stupid stuff, which is why I needed to enlist. So you're supposed to be doing that, and I didn't. So I learned nothing. I go meet the recruiter early in the morning to go ship out. Now this is where they start setting you up for failure. I meet the recruiter, I think it's like 5 a.m., maybe 4:30. And this is the start of your sleep deprivation. So I'm going to tell you now, sleep really good and try to sleep where and when you can between the point that you leave MEPS and get to your duty station. And knowledge is power. So they dropped me off at MEPS, go through another quick physical to make sure during that time you didn't hurt yourself. You're going to get your orders, your plane tickets are going to give you instructions on how to get from point A to point B. And it's a relatively quick day, this one. I think you get your orders to where you're going, all this stuff. And then they get you on a bus and take you to an airport. Like for me, it was Tampa International. So now I find myself with a couple hours to kill, like 3-4 hours, nothing to do at the airport. I should have slept. I didn't know. Like I said, I'm trying to help you guys out. Get on a flight, we land in Birmingham, follow the instructions, go out to a certain place, and there's a bus waiting. And this is where I meet other people that I'm going to be going through basic and AIT. Again, another acronym, right? Advanced Individual Training. So for me, it was OSUT, One Station Unit Training. I'm telling you, you're going to learn a lot of acronyms in the military. So for me, my basic and my AIT, my military police school were one lump course. Same drill sergeant, same everything. No graduation from basic. No going over here for another school. It was one graduation when we graduated everything. So 4 months of everything combined into one. No breaks, no graduation, like I said. Just OSUT, One Station Unit Training. That's the way we did it in military police world. And I know there's other MOSs that do that, which is your military occupational specialty. I tell you, there's a lot of acronyms. I remember when I went to MEPS, I had guys say, "Hey, what's your MOS?" I was like, "What the hell's an MOS?" And they're like, "Oh, is it?" And it's an alphanumeric. Like for military police, it was 95 Bravo. For flight school, it was 153 Alpha. And you know, you're gonna learn this stuff eventually. Like for me, that went over my head. But so you're gonna get there. It's like I said, it's a quick condensed day. You get to the airport. We're on the bus, and I should have slept. We're all sitting there chatting, and I promise you, at least for me, man, as soon as I saw that sign that said Fort McClellan, ooh, the heart started going. And I'm like, what in the world? Here I am. There's no backing out now. This is for real. Like, the sense of that is for real really hits home when you go through those gates and you're on post. Because now you're like there, and that's it. And you're like, oh, God, what did I get myself into? So, I said, what's going to happen now? It's probably going to be midnight. Midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning that you get there. They're going to get you a place to sleep, put you in some barracks, you're going to sleep, and they're going to get you up at 6 a.m. the next day. Sleep deprivation. So like I said, instead of chatting with everybody on the bus, should have slept. Take advantage where and when you can. Don't try to sleep in MEPS. You're going to get in trouble. You're going to get chewed out. It's not going to be a good thing for you. But try to sleep in the airport. Don't miss your flight. God, don't miss your flight. Because at this point now, you're actually in the military and you will be AWOL. Absent without leave. Can be charged criminally, or you can get punished. But don't miss your flight, please. And then, like I said, try to sleep on your bus ride or whatever you have. Like, second time I listened, I had a cab ride. I landed in Dothan, Alabama to go over to Fort Rucker, so it was a short cab ride. But I had already knew this. I was already in the airport sleeping, slept on the plane, slept wherever I could. But so, like I said, I've done this twice, and both times, 8 years apart, it was the same scenario. So I'm trying to help you out, give you a little info. I'll do another video talking about the in-processing and then going down range and meeting your friendly drill sergeants. I'll make that a whole nother video because I don't want this one to be too long. I want to help you out and teach you, help you out to avoid that setting you up for failure from day one with MEPS, shipping you out, and what to expect and how they're going to try to play games with you and tell you jobs don't exist when they do. Stick to your guns. If you want a certain job, go that way. Now, granted, not every branch will guarantee you a job. The Army, at least when I went in, did. I did actually look at the Air Force at one point in time, and they wouldn't guarantee anything. They said they'd guarantee me a field. I was like, well, what was the field? You guys fly planes. What am I, something in aviation? Am I going to be like a up in the air refueling planes in a tanker, or am I going to be sitting on the ground fueling them? I mean, I don't know. Am I just going to wave them in? I don't know. I didn't know anything about the Air Force. I didn't like the idea of not being guaranteed. Somebody would tell me my job later. I didn't like that at all. So that's one of the reasons I went in the Army. So I hope you found this interesting, got some value. I hope you're going to enlist and become one of the few, one of the proud people of this country to serve. And you're going to have a good time if you do. Yeah, there's highs and lows. There's goods, there's bads. There's, but there's some amazing times and some good friends to be had. It's definitely a unique world and experience. So good luck to you. Hopefully you subscribe. Me and my wife have an RV. We're going to travel all across the U.S. I'm going to show you this entirety of this great country, and then we're going to travel overseas. We already got some videos. We have some playlists down below. Some great countries we've already gone and visited. And I'm going to bring you some more military videos, and I got some pretty cool cars. So hopefully something that interests you, get you to hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment down below. Likes, shares, definitely appreciated. And hope you got some value out of this. So good luck to you. Stay safe, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.